Hello, everyone, and welcome to Was That in Good Taste presents The Tasting Table. We got a very special episode for you today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our very special episodes. With you today, I'll be guiding you through this tasting. My name will be Chandler Phillips, and I'm one of your hosts, and your other one of your hosts is sitting right next to me.
James Beery. Ooh, it's hot in here today.
It's a bit toasty.
It's a little toasty.
About to get toastier, because what we got today is one of the most exclusivists that I think we've ever had our hands on. It is a single barrel strength, straight oated bourbon.
What are those combination of
There's
words?
so many terms in there to break it down.
Because you have straight bourbon, which would be
any bourbon that is from one singular thing. Like, it's not a blend. It's all one generation of bourbons. It could be from like multiple different barrels, but it's all one generation of at least 51% corn mashed bourbon, and then it has to be aged in the charred white American oak barrels, new ones. And I think for a straight bourbon, that means it has to be at least 4 years. I'm pretty sure. I feel like every time I look it up, it says something different.
I'm pretty sure. I think it's 4 years. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 4 years, because a bottled in bond straight bourbon, that's 5 years, and it has to be bottled at 50 proof or 50%, 100 proof.
Yeah.
What we got here is it's a straight bourbon, so it's reached its time minimum. It's hit all of its like minimums for barreling proofs. However, it is a, for lack of a better word, it's uncut.
It's uncut. So when they make the bourbon in the barrels, you've seen online, right? You've seen this. It's in a barrel. And often when you buy liquor, they take the things from the barrel, they put it into another barrel or container or thing, and then they add water.
A little bit. And so that's one of the things that makes Kentucky bourbons kind of like a little extra special is places like Noah's Mill, Rowan's Creek. They'll be like, oh, we have ours with like authentic limestone quarry water. And so that water is got a bit of hardness to it, a little bit more calcium. And so it just kind of affects the flavor a little differently. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the other.
And then what is the oated? Because I think that's really the thing.
Well, it should stand for goated without the G, because it's a damn good whiskey. But oated means that in this particular batch, they hit their minimum of at least 51% corn, and then the rest of it is oats. Actually, I have notes on the exact mash bill. I do believe that it is 77% corn, 23% oats, and aged for 5 years here in Breuckelen. It's in Red Hook. They're oh yeah, that's the other thing. Breuckelen 77, one of our favorite distilleries. We love their local corn and rye blend. Their wheated whiskey is fantastic.
What was it? Oh, what was the other one we had from them? Was it the hop?
No,
that was Van Brunt. What's the other one they have? Hold on.
They had another straight bourbon. That's the one that has like the maroon label.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some of the things about the whiskey. They also are kind of going in a different branding structure now. So we'll get into that a little bit. But first, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. All that jazz. Let's take a look at this whiskey. So this one on the bottle, it'll say 129 point something or other proof, which is a pretty high proof considering.
Oh my Lord. You can actually see, I don't really care about legs, but you can tell how thick it is. It's actually kind of sticking to the glass a little bit.
It's thicky and sticky. It's 54.55% in the bottle. Now, what we have is actually not from the bottles that are
it from the barrel?
This is a barrel select that the rep at Breuckelen 77 got for me for a tasting, and Kelly, I really appreciate it. Um, this is a couple degrees higher than what is in bottles at stores. And also, there's not that many bottles. Like, I think they only did like maybe 5 barrels of this total. So what we're tasting is it's pretty exclusive. And all of the other straight bourbons that come out of Breuckelen 77 are at not barrel proof or they're bottled in bond. So they still have that 5 year mark, but they're at a different proof. So this is like super concentrated distillate. This is going to give you so much flavor. And that's why we actually have these little bits of water here to kind of help open it up, because it's going to be a lot in your face all at once. It's kind of like I feel like
as I shove
yeah.
my whole nose into it.
I feel like when you have an overproof whiskey, it can kind of taste like when you hear an orchestra warming up, and it's like like you hear the individual scales, but it's just so discordant and it's so like wow, that it's kind of hard to discern the skill or the nuance that's going on with the flavors. Trying to think what else I can say about this. That's
I'm excited to taste it.
oh, okay. So retailing at around $75. Um maybe more, maybe less. Again, we just got this in the shop, so we're gonna see how it goes. And we're one of the first shops to receive this product. And so this again could be one of our we're trend setting, we're leaving our mark, and we're stamping down our approval to be one of the first to review it. So James, did you have a little taste of it? Did you
I
try
haven't
it out?
yet. I think make sure we walk people through how to do a tasting. Now, obviously, with something like this, was what almost 130.
Did I give you more than me?
Okay, here we go.
Are they about even? So again, I got this because yesterday the sales rep, the main guy in charge, came and dropped off a bottle of another sampler, and he goes, I got my own bottle of the overproof bourbon in the car. Do you want to try it? And I'm gonna be honest, guys, I was a teeny bit hungover. I had tied one on the night before, and the thought of having alcohol just in my mouth at that moment was not good. And so I couldn't say no because I did want to taste it because I'm so curious. So instead, I had him just kind of toss it in one of our little to-go or like emptied out sample flasks. And so I was like, well, we gotta try it at the tasting table. I can't have it now. And it'd be a shame for me to just taste it and then be the only one to know about it. So instead, James, I decided to loop you in on this process.
I'm so happy. So, one, when you're tasting anything, you want to look at it, you want to smell it, but you do not want to shove your nose in it because you're going to hurt yourself, right? So, give a little whiff. This has like a little bit of an oily kind of thing going on top, but that's probably just from it being barrel strength, right?
Yeah.
To me, it smells sweet. I'm getting the ethanol, but I'm getting some creaminess on my nose. Kind of, I would say,
I'm getting some caramelized lumber.
I was thinking vanilla oak and
Vanilla oak.
and oat cream.
Oat. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. A little bit of, yeah, almost like a cream of wheat.
Woo! Straight up spicy. I didn't put any water in it yet. I like to do that. That's a me thing. I actually suggest that you do not do that unless you have like a particularly strong palate and you like to be punched in the mouth with flavor, because that can be often a lot. But I'm kind of chewing on it. It's oaty as hell. It almost
Whoa.
tastes like I'm chewing on oats. Am I wrong?
A bit.
Yeah, it's very oaty.
It reminds me of that cereal Honey O's,
Mm-hmm.
where it's got like the little oat clusters in the middle of the.
Look at that. You can actually see when I put the water in. There's a little bit of oil.
Oh yeah, it kind of separates a little bit. It almost got a slight bit of like spices with an undertone of Captain Crunch. Like I'm getting it almost reminds me of the rock and rye that we've tried,
Yeah.
where it's like a little bit of orange peel, almost a little bit of rye spice, and then a candy-esque sweetness.
And that's where, and that's what I was gonna say. It has a candy sweetness, and I think that's from the oat because remember that oats. So what do? Right? We make flour from oats, right? If you ever get if you're
Oat flour.
oat flour, right? You ever look at like wheat and you break open the little thing on the inside, there's flour, right? So that we take it, we mill it, we dry it. But if you take it and you soak it or do things to it like ferment it, the inside turns to sugar,
Yeah.
right? So if you're gonna have something that's heavily oated and it's treated like that, then what happens to the starch on the inside is it starts to turn into sugar, the yeast start to eat on it, and then you have a higher sugar content, which would lead to this tasting sweeter. I've been doing my coffee research on oated things.
No, that's pretty tasty. I kind of want to look at just what they had on their tasting notes for the bottle.
Let's see. Remember, no such thing as wrong tasting notes. You taste what you taste.
And you like what you like, and you live how you live, and you love how you love.
Unless I don't allow you.
So this was barreled 06/21/2019. Wow. I love how many details are on the back of this bottle. Anyway, it's tasting notes. For the nose, you're getting candied orange, cinnamon, maraschino, and pistachio. For the palate, a bit of orange creamsicle, a bit of honey, maybe a bit of mint, perhaps some cinnamon. Then once we get into the body, it's broad, long, leggy, with a layered complexity, which I think is what you kind of pulled out of it, noticing the viscosity.
And the honey. That's actually why I forgot to mention about the sweetness. I'm getting honey. I'm getting a lot of honey from this. Because when I say creamy,
Yeah.
they say pistachio, but I don't know if you ever had a pistachio milk. I think that they
I've
sound.
never had pistachio milk.
You can buy it. It tastes like oat milk. It's just really expensive. I think that
But
they
I
have.
love pistachios, and I can't stand oatmeal.
Maybe-
Well, that's not true. I can stand it.
He's like I can sit for it.
I can kind of lean. I could give a good wall lean for some oatmeal.
I introduced a little bit of water in this, and it really opened it up. I usually don't always do that, but now that I've done that on my palate, what I'm getting nutmeg. I think the candiedness is still there on the front and on the nose. Whoa! After the water, the orange peel is like jumping out. It's like
Yeah.
it makes sense with the water. It's a little citrusy. I guess my palate's not good enough.
That's not what that means. Your palate doesn't have to be it's a highly concentrated distillate. It's not like, "Oh, I'm sorry I didn't win the spelling bee of flavor." It's you taste what you taste, and there's only so much you could taste at one time. As for the finish, some of their tasting notes are, and I'm definitely picking up on this: tart fruit, cigar box, dry earth, cacao, and togarashi. I don't know what togarashi is.
But
Do you?
you're going to be very surprised when you look it up.
Well,
As I talk about the cocoa, because my mouth feels kind of. So the cocoa is the actual feeling, I believe, in your mouth. It's like a little bit of a drying kind of hydrophobic feel, and I think it's from the high ABV. I'm getting some bitterness in the back. I guess I guess if you really want to say, that would be what is it? It tastes like I'm chewing on something delicious but bitter,
like chicory bark.
like chicory. Yeah. I can see this being like chicory.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this being like chicory.
Chicory dock. So okay, I'm gonna show you a picture of what this bottle looks like.
Ow.
And here's my take. I love this distillery. I am a big fan of all the products that they put out. Their previous bottle that we've shown on the show is usually wax dipped and kind of has like, oh, what's that? What would you say that? Almost like a, not a bullet bourbon shape, but just like a kind of like a bullet train where it's like slight taper to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Almost
No,
like
no.
a,
It's a type of bottle. I don't know.
yeah, very common, and it's kind of my favorite shape
It's nice.
of spirit bottle where it's like it's about yay big. Um, it's kind of like this size with maybe a little bit bulbous at the top, and then kind of tapers into a sturdy bottom with usually a pretty solid punt. Um, and they are recently going through kind of a branding switch up, and I'm I'm
The
gonna
new bottle looks like a lot of the other bottles you see.
yeah,
It's a little stouter, right? Which means I think I get that. It's a little shorter. I think
it's a little
it's a
shorter.
little shorter. It's rounder. I'll put the picture right here. I think that it's not distinguishing. Okay,
It's
but
it's a bit in it feel it's and they switched out a lot of their like almost casino like lettering, like the 77, which again I was talking to one of their guys, and he was like, yeah, one of the reasons that we're switching the branding is because you look at the previous sevens on it and you're like, that's a Seagram 7,
mm,
which I get where that's coming from. There was just a bit more whimsy to it.
but you know what? This is like not really a tangent so much as it's like an acknowledgement. There's actually a big movement right now in marketing to pull back on the branding of these things and make them simple because right now it's all about the craft, right? So it's like it, before when craft stuff was really big, it's like crazy labels, but now it's about making a really good product,
And kind of
right?
doing this, which you know who does that really well is Kings County Distillery, where
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a pint.
It's effectively that bottle that the tasting was in almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Kings County one's nicer because
And
it's
it's
a
got
little
like
shorter, it's a little wider.
a typeface font
It
kind
doesn't
of thing
really
to
it
it.
doesn't have a punt. It's like flat.
Yeah, and it's reminiscent of like when, because they're in the Brooklyn Naval Yards, Kings County Distillery is in the Brooklyn Naval Yards. Brooklyn 77 is in Red Hook. Um, just to clarify. But the Kings County bottle is a little bit more reminiscent of like when 1700s and 1800s Union soldiers would get their like alcohol ration, or like the sailors would get their like, here's your gin to stave off the scurvy kind of thing. And I felt like the previous bottle for the Brooklyn 77 had just a tad bit more character to it. It was a bit more like when you see it on the shelf, and it's it might be a bit cliche or a bit I don't know, hokey, but I like the wax dip. And I know like Makers does its wax dip, but I like having the same bottle, same font, but just like different stylistic colorations to it too, because it was like, oh, this one's orange with a cream label, and then this one's like a black with a beige type,
And where
and
the
then
new 77 bottle is the same label, it's the same label,
it's the same label,
same type font,
same thing.
boring bottle.
The only thing that's different across the different things are that the sevens are a different color, and then you look at the local corn and rye versus their straight rye, and it's the same bottle. And it just kind of, I don't know, I kind of feel like it went a little corporate, but again, the stuff that's inside the bottle is still fantastic. I
Great.
don't want to detract from any of that. I just want to give my 2 cents on the branding direction, because I was a big fan of their previous branding, and now it just kind of feels like, again, they just kind of sucked the whimsy out of it and are instead trying to look more professional. And I think in doing so, I don't know, man. It just feels like it's not about the music
Sell it
anymore.
out, man.
There's
I
just
know the product in the bottle's good, but like it doesn't adhere to my slim aesthetic standards,
like
man.
you did. You're not here for the art anymore, man. You're only here for the bottle service, man.
Do you know what band that is? I liked it better when you smiled, because you're criticizing the way it dresses.
Mm-hmm.
You're heavily critiquing the way that it dresses.
Yeah, and on it could do better. That's the only thing is like I get
No
how
label, slutty.
Yeah,
Inside label.
that would actually be real hot if they did an inside label. That would be more fun. And also, their previous label did have their mascot, who's the distillery owner's Boston Terrier.
Oh, I thought it was like a husk of corn
No, that'd be that-
waving in the wind. You pick up the bottle.
You're just
This is good. I really enjoyed this. The problem I would say that I can't give it a rating. We haven't had enough.
yeah.
You know, unfortunately, this is the kind of thing where we're tasting it to say if it's good, if we like it, if it's strong,
And
what
to
the
say
flavors
first.
are, and to
And-
say first.
Yeah.
But if you want us to review this, you know what you can do. You can let us know in the comments.
And donate.
Oh,
You know,
I mean, yeah, I mean,
just buy the bottle for us.
Buy the bottle.
That's the best way to get us.
In this a state where you were not supposed to. Wrap it up, nice and tight. Mail it to me.
Yeah.
I'll say my address right here.
Or just send me money. Just give money.
No. I want to give out my address to strangers.
That's always fun.
I love that.
And what address would that be? 19th Street,
1, 2,
Brooklyn
3,
Ave.
4, Brooklyn, New York.
I was actually just quoting where Brooklyn Distilling is. It's a 19th Street, Brooklyn, New York.
No, please don't send it to them. They already have it.
They already have it. But if you wanted to find it,
I'll place an order under my name.
now we're
James Beery.
Chandler Phillips. Thank you for joining us at the tasting table. This has been a Was That in Good Taste Presents. Damn.
Oh my God.
That practically evaporated.
Oh my. I wish we had more. I wish it was good. I wish we had way more. But you know what?
It's good.
It's all right. Oh, you know what? I feel like we need to have a tasting table only kind of thing. Because drinking is required.
But it is recommended?
But it is recommended.